Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming, and for whatever reason, you have decided to tune into another horrible gaming podcast. I am actually alone this time. However, I'm not going to be completely alone because, as it was mentioned last week, my co-host Neil asked for a day off. Sometimes I try and find a co-host to sit in for him, but I thought, hey, might be nice to do something a little bit different this time. And this is something I've wanted to do for a while, so I decided to do it. So what you're going to hear in this episode specifically is I picked 3 community members who have been with us since the very beginning, or almost the very beginning. They are huge contributors to both our Discord and the channels itself, and those people are Philthy Phil, the troll extraordinaire, Kev Too Tall, the guy who just comments and watches, basically our biggest fan, and then my wife, Melissa Blazik, who is co-host of Prelude and has been supporting me since the beginning. So that's a huge thing. So I just wanted to interview them on their experiences with gaming, their thoughts about gaming, just generally their life with video games and how it's related to them. Each interview is between 20 and 30 minutes, and yeah, I've edited them together, and that's this episode. I hope you guys stick around and listen and enjoy. I really do. Without further ado, I'm going to give some credits now before we do the theme song, and then we'll just go right into the interviews. We just wanted to drop a couple of names. If you're watching this on YouTube, behind the fancy timestamps, you're going to see some fancy graphics. Some of them is stock footage, but anything that's original to this channel is created for us by Mr. Mark Bell. We thank him for that. Then, of course, the theme song for this and all of the shows here at OMG is provided by the man who makes the music, my brother Nick Van Sluyters, and we thank him for that. So I hope you guys enjoy these interviews, and yeah.
Time to get your fix. It's a horrible gaming podcast. It's not good, it's not great. Horrible gaming podcast. It's not even what you would call fair. It's really not that good. Horrible gaming podcast.
All right. So my next guest, she needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. She is the mother of my child.
Baby mama, as I prefer to be called.
My wife, the light of my life, and my co-host, co-player of Prelude to Divorce.
Yep.
Just say your name.
Melissa.
Melissa what? You just go by Melissa? Are you like the Mario Brothers where it's like Mario, Luigi, Mario? You're just Melissa?
It's like Madonna. Or Cher.
She took my last name, everybody. This is the kind of witty repartee you have to look forward to during this interview, while I ask her questions that I pretend not to know the answer to already. So, Melissa, as I've already told you, doing kind of this weird podcast thing that I'm trying, and I thought you would be a great interview because your experience with gaming is very unique to gaming as a whole. And you do not consider yourself a normal gamer by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm going to go ahead and ask first question, and this is kind of universal to everybody that I've been asking. I've got a couple standard ones, and then I got some specialized ones for just you.
Okay. First
one is, what's your first experience with gaming? Or you can remember.
Like video games.
Yes. This interview will be in relation to video games, as we are a video game channel.
I remember playing Monopoly and Life. Michelle and I played the shit out of Life.
Oh, really?
As kids,
I've never played that board game.
Always wanted the split level house for some reason. I don't know why.
You got a bi-level in real life now.
We got a Commodore 64. I was very young. I don't know what year it would have been. Maybe like 86, 87, well before Philip was born.
Okay.
And he was born in 90. So we had summer games and winter games and...
Wait. Like the video game summer games and winter games, not like Summer games and winter.
No.
Like,
The video games.
I was about to say, your parents made you play certain games in the summer.
No,
and
the
certain...
video games, summer games and winter games. Summer games had, I remember, pole vaulting and...
Yep.
I don't remember what other ones. I remember the winter games. There was figure skating.
Yep.
And...
I'm very aware of those games. They did the
I don't remember all of them.
They were also on Atari. I believe Game Grumps has played them too. Little retro stuff.
There was Ducks Ahoy. Ducks Ahoy? Duck
Hunt?
No, I think it was Ducks Ahoy.
Because Duck Hunt was Nintendo.
No. Yeah, I know what Duck Hunt. I remember Duck Hunt. We used to play that. Our cousins had a Nintendo, original Nintendo.
Okay.
So we would play, they had a game that had, I think, just the original Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on the same cartridge.
Yes.
So we would play that at their house, but we didn't have a Nintendo at that point, and I was probably a little bit older. But on the original computer, it was like this little red boat, and the screen was like a maze, and there were all these little, like a maze of like a river.
Oh man, I've seen this game
And there
before.
were these little houses, and you would
before.
see the ducks coming like from the top floor of the houses, and you wanted to get your boat to their house before they jumped in the water.
It is Ducks Ahoy.
Ducks Ahoy?
100% Ducks Ahoy, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was my first. And the big floppy disks, not the little hard ones, like the big ones that were actually floppy.
Commodore 64 is really the precursor to PC when you look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember it had a printer that, like, you had to use that paper that had the, like, that they have at, like, when you go get your car fixed, and they have to tear the sides off on the paper.
Right.
And all the paper's connected with, like, perforated in the middle. Yeah. That was the printer that was with it. And my mom, I remember her doing her first resume. It was the shittiest word processing. That computer was, I think the monitor was at an actual television. I don't think we had like a monitor. I think we had a television. Like my dad hooked it up. I
didn't know you could do that.
I'm pretty sure it was hooked up to a TV as its monitor.
That's interesting. I don't know a lot about the Commodore 64. Like, our introduction was obviously the Nintendo. But yeah, that's very interesting.
We got an Atari years later. Like, we already had Nintendo. We only ever had the Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
So you had the Super Nintendo before the Atari?
Yes.
That's insane. That's complete madness.
My dad did a side job for a doctor, and he gave him an Atari and a box, like a giant cardboard box just full of games for the Atari and a go-kart.
That's like getting a box TV after a 4K high def big screen.
But I know Philip was born by the time we got the Super Nintendo, so I know he remembers, like, he would be old enough to remember the Atari.
Right.
And on that, I remember liking to play Pitfall. Do you know what Pitfall is?
Oh, I know Pitfall. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite games on that.
On Atari. Mm-hmm. It is one of the classic Atari games, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, since you're talking about things you're enjoying, my next question is, what is your all-time best experience playing a game? Like, was it a moment that you played with a friend? Was it just a specific game that you loved? Was it, like, what's your best experience playing video games of your life?
I don't know. I mean, I remember when
Expect more hard questions like this.
When we first got the Super Nintendo, we got it for Christmas, and Michelle and I spent literally the entire next day, whatever the next work day was, after Christmas. My dad went to work, and we played through Super Mario Brothers. Hopefully.
There's a tuba in the studio.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There's a duck in the background.
That was not supposed to be that loud. Not at all. My professional interview just went right out the window. What people don't know is we are also on our porch.
Right. The road's right there.
Mm-hmm. We're probably getting car noise.
Right. But yeah, I remember, like, we were still in our pajamas, and my dad gets home from work. He's like, "What the fuck have you been doing all day?" He was so mad.
He is well known as not the lover of video games, or even the respecter of video games.
I'm actually shocked that I don't remember. I'm sure it came from Santa, but
that you got
hopefully
one.
no children are listening. But, that Santa
bought
us a video game for Christmas.
We definitely click on that mature every week. So if a kid's listening, they're not supposed to be.
If it is for lack of swearing, don't let your kids listen to this because we discuss Santa.
I don't think you really gave anything away, though. You obfuscated that pretty well. Okay, so next question. And you keep segueing perfectly into my questions. I don't know how you're doing that. It's like natural for you. So you said you played all day with your sister. Who was your favorite person to play with, like, in your entire, like, who's been your favorite person to, like, play games with? When the time has come to play games with somebody else, who's your favorite person to play with?
I think I've only ever played games with my sister, my brother, and you. And Stella.
Well,
and Stella is definitely not my favorite.
She's a little rough.
Whew. I don't know. I like playing games alone.
Okay. All right.
I don't like having to wait for someone else to take their turn or...
Shutting me down on that. I mean, I gotcha.
Not that I don't like it, but I prefer to play games alone. Although I will say I do enjoy playing games like when we play Wheel of Fortune, and that's like a take turn.
Yeah.
Or Monopoly even. Until I'm out and I'm just watching you play. Or vice versa. That gets annoying. But games like that, I think they're fun to play with somebody. But those aren't... I realize they're video games, but those are video game, like board games turned video game.
Yeah.
Or a TV show turned video game.
I mean, those still count.
Yeah.
They still count, but yes, I understand what you're saying.
But other than that type of game, I'd almost rather play video games by myself.
Okay. All right. All right, so let's change gears for a little bit.
Okay.
Allow me to be a little egotistical for a second.
I'm married to you.
Ouch. For a second on this interview, I guess.
Okay.
I didn't realize I was so egotistical in my life that it needed calling out. What is your favorite experience on Prelude to Divorce? And now, just so that everybody knows who has not actually watched it, Melissa and I...
You should watch it. Yes,
you should watch it. Melissa and I have a show every Sunday, just about, where we play games together. She is not a gamer, I am, and it's very fun. We bicker with each other. There's a lot of counterpoints in it, but we've been doing it now for 54 episodes, which is, honestly, this is one of the reasons I'm having you on the show. You are a valued community member because you're on one of our now more popular shows. It's actually getting more of the views than anything else. So
that must be the bump from Neil and Kayla being on.
I don't know. Wheel of Fortune, our last Wheel of Fortune got 24 views already.
Really?
Yeah. So, what's been the experience for Prelude? What's your favorite experience of it? Like, is it an enjoyable experience? Am I forcing you to do it? Like, do you like doing it? And what do you like most about it? Or
You're
hate,
usually
for that matter.
forcing me to do it to start. But then once we're doing it, I'm good with it. Like, it feels like a chore to start. But then it becomes okay.
Lift the veil a little bit. There is a we need to record side directly after I say that, where she's like, okay, I guess we should do it. And then she has a lot of fun when we're playing it, but it's like,
yeah,
it always makes me feel bad for that second
the
before
initial
I get her in
is
it.
like, oh god. Because you always not you always ask, but like even this, like, I don't mind doing it, but like, I just got home from work, I just want to watch the rest of the John Wayne Gacy thing. And
well, we have a lot of limited time, unfortunately.
Right.
You know, just because of things, especially on the weekend. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. I had originally planned on waiting until Friday night or Saturday, but I'm not home Friday night, and then Saturday we are literally busy all day.
Right. You're not home Friday
That's
night.
right. So that's why I didn't wait, and I would have waited till tomorrow, but I'm doing 2 of these tomorrow with the other 2 people. So it was kind of unfortunate that, but this is true. So,
as far as my favorite experience doing Prelude, I
mean, you've only been down on it so far, so let's get a positive in here.
I don't know what my favorite... I can tell you... Is it... Okay.
Yeah, it's still recording.
I can tell you one of the most frustrating experiences
Staying negative, okay.
Well, not even, I mean, it wasn't anybody's fault. That when we tried to play Donkey Kong together and that remote or controller wasn't working.
That was rough.
That was so frustrating.
That was very rough.
Because it wasn't even, I mean, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't even enjoyable. It was
like a half-second delay.
Yeah, we couldn't do well because of that.
Well, and you add in the fact that we had all those recording problems when I first got those crappy flash drives.
Yeah.
Don't cut cost on flash drives, anybody out there.
Yeah.
Just, it's not worth it. Buy Transcend or something higher, because you cut costs, you're getting like 2 for $15, you're not getting a flash drive, you're getting a guess.
Yeah. But, I don't know, most enjoyable.
Yeah, it was your most enjoyable part of it. Do you have any positives from the 54 episodes we've done?
Well, I mean, I do end up enjoying them when we're playing.
Right.
There was that, I don't know what it was called, where we were both like robots and you had a...
The cube one, the Death Squared?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was really fun.
I'd say we should go back and do that again, but I don't think anybody watched it.
It did okay, actually.
Did it?
It didn't do terrible. It wasn't one of our highest viewed ones, but it wasn't terrible.
I mean, I always like the Wheel of Fortune when we play Wheel of Fortune. When we've done stuff with like Neil and Kayla, it's always very fun, but I find it very stressful for some reason.
Well, and I've noticed that somehow the games that we've played on those times are not games that you have enjoyed. Like,
that's true.
We didn't realize it in the moment. Like you're very happy and go lucky during it, but then once it's over, it's like I hated that game. You know.
I didn't hate it, but it just wasn't my favorite. The most recent one. What was the first one we did with them when they came over to the
Mario Party.
No, that was the one we just did.
Yeah. You just said what was the most recent one?
No, I said the most recent one. I know, but what was the first one that we did with them?
The first one we did was Animal Crossing. We did 2 episodes of Animal Crossing, and then we did 1 episode of Super Mario World because you had just been such a good sport.
Yeah.
So, and I knew you hated it.
The other day, you gave Stella, I don't know, she was playing Animal Crossing, and then you left the room, and she's like, I caught this butterfly, and I'm like, no, I'm not the person. She's like, how do I put it down? And there wasn't room in her house, so I had to push a bunch of shit around. I'm like, this is not my job as a parent. This is your dad's job. Don't ever do that to me again.
Okay, all right.
The game is awful.
Well, I don't think it's awful.
It's pretty terrible.
I don't think you like it.
It's pretty terrible.
Okay, all right.
I do enjoy, again, like the games like Wheel of Fortune and Monopoly, and because those are more fun for me to play with somebody.
It is common known that you are a huge fan of Mario and Mario games.
Don't say huge fan. Because you say huge fan and people were like, who was the first year it came out?
No.
Like, they expect you to know. Like, if
not like that. I
those
mean,
are my preferences.
Of your playing. Like, those games are, like, you know every secret in Super Mario World, that kind of thing. So, I want to ask, what is it about platformers? 2D platformers that do it for you? What is it about those Mario games that really get you going?
As I think I've established, if you've watched any of the preludes, where we've played...
This is our podcast audience, so it's a grab bag whether they have or not.
I can't... Like, I don't have the... My brain doesn't register stuff. I don't know. There's too much on the screen on all those other games.
Okay.
Like, when I watch you play... Like shooter
a HUD,
games.
a heads-up display, you have a hard time with. We've talked about that
HUD?
before. Yeah, heads-up display.
That's not what I think of when I think of HUD.
I know, because you're in real estate. I understand that. It was weird when I went into real estate because they refer to it as HUD, and I'm like, a heads-up display? It got all messed up. So, but yeah, a heads-up display, you've pointed out that you have a hard time with those.
I do. I have a really hard time. I don't know. It's weird because in real life, I think I'm pretty observant and like I see a lot of things kind of out of the side and like in my periphery. In video games, I can't look necessarily at the whole screen. But I have that same problem, like as silly as it sounds. If you have closed caption on the TV,
you focus on the closed caption.
I focus on the closed caption and I don't actually watch the show. I think it's just something wrong with my brain. I don't know. And games like that, like where you're... And I even had the same problem in like the 3D Mario games. That I think was more of like it made me feel nauseous.
Right.
Not necessarily like I was going to vomit, but it was just almost a dizzying effect.
Right.
I don't know. Those types of games are easier to focus on stuff.
Okay.
They're just less complicated, I guess.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You want to focus on the person and the map directly in front of you instead of a mini map and a bullet count and a life counter and a power up and all sorts of different things.
And it also could be my video game experience has been relatively limited. So like those were the games that I started playing on, and I never really evolved past that.
One, it is well known that it is very hard to move from. It's like, I'm not saying 2D games are easier than 3D games. They're not. I'm saying that like for
they're easier
comprehension,
to focus on. Yeah, definitely.
So I get that. All right, so I'm gonna end on two fun ones. All right. The first one you're not gonna find fun. You're just gonna be irritated. I'm asking you it, but okay. I'm still gonna ask it to you. What game do you want to see? Like if somebody was like making a game and announcing a game today and they were doing it just for you, what would that game look like? What would that game be?
I have no idea. You know what? This is not like a video game, but like an app. So like whenever I'm on Facebook and there's always ads in your whatever, there will be these games that it's like a puzzle game sort of, but it'll be like pull the pin and you have to move like a pin for the water to go and like don't let the guy drown.
Right.
Like sort of puzzles like that. I've tried to download some of those apps to play those games. That's not what those games are.
Yeah, they're never that.
Those games are some bullshit like I don't even know what. And then every 5 games after you have to watch an ad in between each one of them, then you get to one of those puzzles, and I don't want to deal with all that crap to get to the puzzle that I want to play.
Right.
I would like to play a game that is just those types of things.
Those kind of knowledge puzzles.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. That's not a bad answer at all. Okay. This is the super fun one I'm going to end on everybody with. Okay. What is your I will always play this game? And what is your I will never play that game? You can't make me with a gun. Well, you can make you with a gun, but I mean, within real.
I will never play.
I like how you start negative.
A game like a first-person shooter game.
Okay, just any first-person shooter. Not doing it. Got it.
They're silly.
Of course.
I don't get them. I can't visualize them. I don't understand why you have all this character creation. You never see your character. It's just stupid to me.
It makes sense on the multiplayer. When you're like playing multiplayer because other people can see your character.
Yeah, but who gives a shit?
Well, you do, obviously.
But again,
it makes no sense.
Do I look like I care what I look like in real life? Why would I care?
I'm just saying
my pretend character
makes more sense for first-person shooter when it's on display for somebody. Like it could be an art project for you, basically. Whereas when it's just a solo player game and you're creating
you're not convincing me. You're never going to.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just
so a game like that, like Borderlands or
okay.
What are the ones that there's like 1,000 of them? That all
battle royales?
No. It's like one game franchise, and there's like they come out with 3 a year.
Oh, Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Call of Duty. Yeah.
Where like people always say that all these 12-year-olds play and talk shit to each other. That is not a game that you would ever catch me.
I would say it's more men now, like grown ass men playing it and talking shit to each other.
Whatever.
I've played it, and it's often like you hear on the other side. It's very clearly like "whoa, bro," like sort of thing.
But yeah, a game like that, I have no interest. Would never even attempt to play. A game I'd always play like a Mario Brothers or something like that. The 2D one. Although I do like the universe one that we have. Mario Universe.
Mario Galaxy?
No.
I was about to say, you hated that.
Yeah, no, not that one. The newer one that you bought.
Mario Deluxe Wii U. Mario Wii U Deluxe.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And is that considered 2D?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it has 3D rendered models, but the gameplay happens on a 2D plane.
Yeah. So any game like that, I would play.
Would be considered a 2D platformer.
Okay.
And I figured you'd love that one because it is probably the most modern Mario game that emulates the old Super Mario World sort of thing.
Or, I mean, board games turned to video games, not counting, what's the one you always want me to play that I have no desire to play? Risk.
Why do you have no desire to play Risk?
I've watched people play Risk, and it just, I don't know. Like, the board game Risk.
You watch everybody. She's going to play. She's going to love it. Happens every once in a while. Okay. I want to add one more question before we end. Has gaming had a positive impact on you? In any, like, can you think of any one moment where gaming has had a positive impact on you? Or positive impact in your life? Even if it's just something small, like unwinding or relaxing, turning your brain off, something like that. Like, can you think of anything, bonding with Stella or whatever, something along those lines?
I mean, I guess we've bonded with video games, so I guess that's good.
I would also point out that it's sometimes driven a wedge between us.
Yes.
So I think we're breaking even on that one.
But, you know, I don't hate the idea of playing with Stella in moderation. I don't.
She's getting better is the thing.
Yeah. I don't want her to be one of those kids who's like, no, I don't want to do my homework. I want to play video games. Or, you know, I don't want to go play outside. I want to play video games.
Considering how digital we are, I think we do surprisingly well with limiting her time.
Yeah, I think we do. But, you know, I do enjoy playing with her. I think that it's fun. It's something fun to do that's minimal parenting effort, which makes me sound terrible, but whatever. So, yeah, I guess that. I mean, I do enjoy, like, I don't know that it's really a video game, but like playing Sudoku on my phone and whatever. Sometimes that's helpful in just kind of zoning out.
Okay. All right. Well, Melissa, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this for me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you giving the people out there a chance to get to know one of our surprisingly most influential community members, whether she thinks so or not. You have one of the longest running shows on the channel at this point. So,
I do.
So there you go. I just want to ask you, is there anything you want to add to this? Anything you want to say to anybody who's listening?
No. I mean...
Okay.
Tell your friends, like Zach's channel.
Aw.
I want to retire someday.
I appreciate that you used your moment to plug my channel. That was nice. That was nice.
For selfish reasons, but...
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
All right, so my next guest is a community member who, well, you all know him. A lot of you might hate him, or at least his never-ending slew of gifs and memes. And that is the almighty troll extraordinaire, the man behind Phantom Fury Gaming, Philthy Phil. Thank you for joining us.
What's going on?
So, like, you know, we're just doing this interview. It's just going to be freeform. I've just got some questions I want to ask you so that people can get to know you as part of our community. I mean, you've been here since probably the beginning, back in the early days. So I want people to be able to get to know you and maybe to be able to empathize with the constant slew of memes and gifs that you post to Discord.
We having fun with this one.
I think you're doing one right now, aren't you? Like right now, you were just doing one with Jason. If I saw it completely.
Yes, I think Jason's getting on in the number one war right now.
I cannot tell you how many times I have posted like something to the entire chat that's like an organizational, like, hey, you guys want to be involved in this, or hey, this scheduling's coming up, and then like 5 minutes later you and somebody else bury it in weird strange gifs.
Things happen sometimes. I get bored.
It's all good. It's all good. It definitely keeps the Discord entertaining. But let's go ahead and get into this interview. I'm just going to interview you about mostly your experience with gaming and gaming in your life. This is what I'm looking for here. So, first and foremost, I want to take it back to the beginning. What was your first experience with gaming?
I mean, of course, Mario Brothers. Let's see, that would have been the two-story White House on Elm Street. I joke you not that my dad forced us to watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, why would he do that to you?
My dad has just as sick of his mind as I do.
I was about to say, your origins are now coming clear.
Yeah. So, two-story White House, Elm Street, Christmas. I couldn't tell you the year, but we got the Nintendo.
Nice.
And it had Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers, and that's the very first game.
Yeah, they have it on that double cart, that Duck Hunt and Mario on the same cart one.
Yep, I had them both. Yep.
That's funny.
So.
That's funny. Melissa, one of my other guests, commented on that too. The Duck Hunt and the Mario on the same cart. I had it too.
Yeah. And aside from that, I kind of remember some Atari stuff on like a little TV behind the couch at my grandparents' house, like an old Atari. But I was a lot younger then, so I don't really remember a whole lot about that one.
Right. No, the Nintendo's fine. That works. That totally works.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your best experience playing video games, like in your life that you can think of? It's tough, right? It can be a game. It can be a time that you were playing with somebody. It can be, I don't know, whatever you want it to be. Open to interpretation.
Yeah, I don't know. Really, the old Black Ops, Call of Duty was some of my more favorite gaming. We used to stay up. Some of the guys, I still game with a few of them. Man, we would stay up until the next day running zombies. I mean, just all night zombie marathons where we'd start a game at like 10 o'clock and finally we'd all be so tired at like 5 or 6 in the morning. We're just like, okay, we got to die. So those were some of the fun ones.
I personally did that with the Modern Warfare 3's survival mode wave thing. So I feel you. So speaking of the guys that you played with, who is your favorite person or has been your favorite group of people to play games with in your life?
I really enjoy me and Phil play a whole lot together now.
I don't think he's going to judge you if you don't say him.
Yeah, he's my current favorite, but I don't know. A lot of the guys, like he actually knows some of them, Bar Sniper and Sniper Hunter. I've been playing with those guys 10 plus years, so it's been a while.
So you know some of those guys probably in real life then.
Actually, never met any of those guys in real life. Nope.
Nice. 10-year friendship on video games.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. I'm an older dude myself. I don't know anybody that I met on a game system and am still in touch with on the game system.
Yeah.
After that amount of time.
Like I remember Jackal, one of the guys. This kid was just getting in high school when we started playing. And now he's like, late 20s. Got his own thing going on. So, like, done growed up on us. So.
That's awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome. Oh, has it always been Call of Duty for you in that group, or?
Yeah, a lot of it was Call of Duty with that group. We played some other games on and off through there, but Borderlands 2 was one of them. Just a few different games that we've jumped on, but kind of Call of Duty is the one that kept it all together.
Well, and correct me if I'm mistaken, but Borderlands is the one where you met Philbilly and ended up getting involved with our channel.
That's how the famous relationship began of the two Phils. Yeah.
I do remember playing with Philbilly, you, and Sniper Hunter on Borderlands, and that was a real trip.
Yeah. So some good times.
It was. You and Sniper Hunter have very similar accents. It's very hard Very hard to figure out.
Not very close. He's got an Oklahoma accent.
Really? Okay,
Very
now I just
easy
feel
to
ignorant
tell.
at this point.
Yeah, yeah. There's different Southern accents.
The
So
the last Halo Wars we did, because I have a hard time distinguishing between you and Sniper, but Sniper's laugh is very similar to Kev Tutal's, so I was really lost as to who was talking and who was laughing at any point in time.
couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure it out.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got one for you. What was the scariest game you played?
Ooh, scariest game I've played ever?
Yeah, or scariest experience playing. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, scariest experience playing. Man, that's a tough one. I wasn't expected to be asked questions. I like this. I like that. Leave it to the troll extraordinaire to bend the rules. Scariest experience I have ever played. That is tough. I've had very few scary games. I tend to avoid them overall. I would probably say Grounded at this point. I'm sure that there's a scarier game that I've played somewhere around the line, but just some about that game, man. It just, especially when the spider sees you and runs towards you with all 8 legs, I'm like, I scream. I've screamed on stream. like a little girl.
Say your little scream during those was funny.
Yeah, it's terrible. I every once in a while, State of Decay gets me because they have these the ferals. You've played State of Decay.
Yeah.
The ferals, they get me. Like, you hear them, especially when it's night. You hear them and you don't see them. You just hear them and you're like, where is he coming from? And then all of a sudden he's attacking you. That gets me a little bit. What's the scariest game you've ever played? Right back at you.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go for the scariest event or time. I was in high school.
Okay.
I came home, may have had a little bit of grass, a little bit of alcohol, and for some reason I decided it was a good idea to play Silent Hill.
Oh.
Yeah, so I didn't sleep that night. Yeah.
You're
Turn the
taking
light
me
on.
back. Yeah.
I was freaked out.
There is this there's this old game, Philthy, called Clock Tower, and it's a terrible game. I mean, an absolutely terrible game. You play this teenage girl stuck in a clock tower, and this weird hunchback dude with giant like hedge clippers is chasing you through the whole thing, and he makes this like scratching, pulling noise. And I remember playing that game with 2 other friends in my teenage years in this like really old house in the middle of the country in the middle of the night, and even though the game was terrible, you play the game, you'd be like, you were scared of this, we weren't scared of that, but man, by the end of the night, we were all just like huddled in a corner, just positive the house was going to eat us. So let me move on to something a little bit more specific to you. Give you a little bit of a plug here. A little bit of a plug. You have recently started Phantom Fury Gaming, which is a YouTube experience. You do a lot of streaming on there, and you've recently gotten into streaming. So I gotta ask you, why go into streaming, and what's the experience been like for you so far?
Actually, mainly I got into it so I could teach my son how to do it. Because he's been just driving me up the wall. I mean, aside from like the normal, I hate you, why did I have you, driving me up the wall. Just a little bit of extra, like, because he's been wanting to stream. So I kind of got it. So I kind of, figure out what I was doing, how to show him what to do. I like live streaming. I really don't edit anything. I just put it up there, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I don't care.
It is definitely one of the nicer things about the live stream. There's no post work on it.
Yeah. So, but what's funny is, like, you see all types of kids streaming, and I've let him stream a couple times, and the last time he tried to stream, I actually got an email that said that they pulled the content because he was an underage or too young of a kid to stream or something like that, and had to have parental. I was like, he's 11. He's streaming Rust. What makes this content unkid-like? I don't. Do you think he set the account up himself?
Yeah, that's
So
very strange. That was YouTube that did that to you?
that did that to him. Yeah. Yeah.
YouTube is crazy, man. They're crazy. I mean, I'm on them right now, so I probably shouldn't talk too much smack about them because their robots are always listening. But yeah, they've been crazy about a lot of stuff. So have you tried Twitch streaming with him or having him Twitch stream?
No, I may actually do that for him. But then I got to learn how to do something else. So
Right. You can only take so many things you've got to learn how to do.
yeah. So
What's it been like? I have a 4-year-old. She's about to be 5. She's just starting to like show enough interest and have enough skill to actually be a gamer sort of situation. But what's it been like having a son who's now 11, who's come up while you've been gaming and you could show him the gaming? What's that experience been like for you?
I hate Fortnite.
Okay.
No,
All
the
right.
Minecraft is fun. The Minecraft phase is really fun. I hope he gets back into it because I actually enjoy just getting on there and just wasting time playing it there. But
Right.
the Fortnite I couldn't get into. He's moved on to Rust now, while my little girl who's 8 is into Fortnite. So,
Oh
uh,
no. Oh no.
which
Just when you think you're out.
yeah, which so the Fortnite videos continue, and there's just so many annoying Fortnite personalities. So
Yes. Yes.
I think that's what really drives me crazy. It's just some of the personalities of Fortnite gamers. It's like, why do I have to watch their videos?
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I don't necessarily want to bash anybody, but oh man, there's some they have quite a collection of obnoxious people in that game. That is for sure.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Rust is cool though. I'm surprised he didn't follow you into Grounded at all.
Yeah, he didn't really get into it, which is really odd. Trying to be quiet here. My fat dog is. It's either I listen to her whine or I feed her. So
Hey, we've got a mission statement here, and it's about it's quantity, not quality, man. So
there we go.
you're fine. If the fat dog can eat all she wants. Have you tried Rust with him?
Tried a little bit of Rust and I just didn't get into it. It's just, I don't know. It wasn't mechanic wise. I didn't really like the mechanics of the game.
That's
So,
fair. That's fair. Okay. Allow me to be a little egotistical. I'm doing this with everybody. A little self-centered in this interview, and I want to ask you now, what is your favorite OMG experience? Like old man gaming experience?
Yeah, let's see.
What?
I don't know. I think some of the deep rocks were.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun with those. Actually, one that we really need to do again is we really need to get another Among Us going. The night we had that one, that was actually a fun little get because everyone was kind of learning at the same time because none of us are really like into that game.
Right.
So
Right.
it was a fun little everybody doing something that was somewhat new to them and
What?
enjoying it.
Yeah, and they've got a new map out. Kev Too Tall loves that game, man. He loves that game. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Do you watch any of the shows we got? It's totally
Yes.
okay to say no. It's totally okay to say no.
So I selectively watch. So the OMG stuff, I selectively move on till like see the end of somebody's match or, when I'm wrestling. So, I'm one of those where I don't spend as much time watching YouTube videos.
Oh, I get it.
So,
And you
and
don't
like
have to.
Phil, I know he will put stuff on and just listen to it while he works.
Yeah.
But like I'm usually in someone's house working, so I don't really have that opportunity.
An opportunity.
So
No, I get it.
But,
You could have said no. It's totally fine.
oh no, yeah,
wasn't
no,
trying to
but
put you on the
I do a
spot.
lot of selective watching. I enjoy trying to make the bloop, 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 state of decays. I try to get in on those because I do like watching that gameplay. So I'll actually sit there and just watch that, or even listen to you drone on and on about just the most retarded things. But I
Yeah.
enjoy the
Yeah.
State of Decay lunchtime when I can get on.
Well, I appreciate that. What would you be your favorite show on the channel, and then we'll go back into you.
Uh, well, right now, State of Decay.
Yeah.
Now, new one that's coming up is the Outriders playthrough.
Yes.
So
Yes.
gotta push something for Phil Billy there. Um, and I think that there's gonna be some that'll be a fun one to watch just because it is really good story on that game. And it's an enjoyable game. So, but really, State of Decay is one of my favorite to watch. Uh, we had fun with the Grounded. I liked those. Of course, Deep Rock.
Yeah,
Uh,
Deep Rock for life, man.
yeah,
Mining dwarfs for life, man. I'll always play that game.
but
Okay, so I wanna get a little bit more serious for you. You can pass on this question or not answer it if you don't want to, or answer it fun or any way you want to. But I want to know a time in your life where gaming has had a positive influence or impact on it, something special that gaming either maybe helped you through, or maybe it just helps you get through something over here, or maybe it was something that, like, oh, I was able to game and this allowed me to connect with this person, something where gaming was like a positive influence in your life.
I'm actually gonna say I believe it's Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
Which they got the new one out. I don't know which one it was. I just remember my buddy Matt had his PS2, and his wife had sent it in a care package over to us, and we played Baldur's Gate. And like, you know, when you're in a room with a tiny little room, probably, I mean, honestly, my game room is probably a little bit bigger than what that room was. You got like 10 guys sleeping in that room.
right.
And right in the middle of the room, we have this little TV set up with this, with two chairs by it, and that's where we set that Baldur's Gate up at. But running through that game, and we were all on different rotations because you got guys from two different sections that lived in the same room. So sometimes when you know Group A would be sleeping, the other group is out on patrol, or they come back and you're actually you're all in there playing together or something. But we had some just super just stacked characters that we'd gone and just worked through. Like, we would start a game on one guy and just continue. Everybody would keep up on that guy and continue playing him. And so, I mean, he was just hardcore. But we that was probably one of my best gaming. As far as games that meant the most to me
Right.
was that one.
Okay. All right. This is very cool. Very cool story. Um, okay, so I just got two more questions. They're a little bit more fun. The first one is, if a developer is out there and he is making the perfect game for Philthy Phil in mind, what's that game look like?
Actually, there is a game. I don't know if you've heard about it, but 6 Days in Fallujah.
Okay. I have heard
Uh,
about it. I've heard quite a bit about it because it's a very controversial game.
yeah. So actually, a guy that was one of my buddies back when I was in um, was part of the group that had a lot of input on how things went into that game. Um, a lot of that game is you kind of based on some of our experiences.
Right.
So uh, to me, that game is one that just super cool kind of game. There was a game back on the old Xbox, not the Xbox, or not the 360, but the Xbox.
OG.
Yeah, um, it's like Marines or something like that. But it was actually kind of that was actually the start of that 6 Days in Fallujah. Was
W-
that game?
were you in Fallujah? Stationed in Fallujah?
I wasn't ever stationed there, but we were 3-1, had the biggest piece of pie and the worst piece of pie.
Gotcha.
in the second battle for Fallujah. So we took a big chunk out of that city.
Okay. All right. That's heavy stuff. I was not expecting you to say that, and that's really awesome. And just from me and from anybody, from me speaking for our community, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah. See, now you know where my twisted humor comes from.
I don't know, man. I don't think you can blame it on that. I think you were born with it a little bit. Your dad definitely helped it too, from what I can tell. Nightmare on Elm Street, when you live on Elm Street, what was he doing to you?
I don't know. It's just a fun joke.
Okay, so one more question, man, and then we'll go. What is your always game, never game? Meaning you will always play X game and you will never play X game.
Always play. I think I will continue to always play something in the Call of Duty genre, series.
Okay.
Minus, and this I wouldn't really say it's in my never play. I believe it was 3.
Okay.
The one where they introduced wall running.
Okay.
Stupidest thing. I literally took the game to GameStop the first day I had it.
That was like the Infinity one, wasn't it? Wasn't it the space one? I thought.
I'm not sure. I'm thinking it was 3, but yeah, the whole wall running was just god awful. So that one of the worst games. Really, I'd have to put that one because I could not stand wall running.
So you're saying you'd always play a Call of Duty game, any Call of Duty game, except the one with wall running, and that's your never.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's all the questions I got for you, man. Is there anything you'd like to add or say, or anything you want to plug, or anything you want?
No, nothing to plug. Except for the Philbilly 330, or the 330 Outrider series is coming. It's gonna be good. The
first episode will have been out when this airs, just so you know.
Ooh.
So
Ooh,
yes,
I do have one.
Okay.
And this one is for you, and it's a challenge.
Oh, a challenge. I'm very nervous now.
So you have Prelude to Divorce.
Yeah.
On Steam, there is a $20 game.
Okay.
Called It Takes Two.
Oh, I've thought about that. I'm kind of ahead of you on that. It's a Josef Fares joint.
Like, let's save the marriage type deal. So
let's see. Well, we're still together, as much as she seems to hate me through it.
That's what I'm saying. You've got Prelude to Divorce. We're saving it with It Takes Two. So
well, I don't know if you know how A Way Out ends, which was that guy's last game, which was a co-op thing. I'm very nervous about how this one would end.
Yeah.
But okay, all right. We'll have to look into that.
I don't even remember how I stumbled onto it on the Steam store. I just was kind of scanning through stuff, and I was like, "This looks really cool." I was like, he's got Prelude to Divorce. This is going to be a good series. So.
I have seen it. I need to. The other thing is, it's very tricky with Melissa as to what she will play. She has a very specific group of categories that she won't even try, even for the show. So I have to find a game that's I can get her through 3 episodes with at least.
Yeah, at least she plays. I mean, my wife will I've tried come on, try this out.
She won't. She's just no games whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a no. Yeah, oof. It's a oof. You're almost 40 and you're still playing games. Yep.
Damn straight. Yeah. I dare kids to play some of these games now. Much rather be 40 playing some of these ones.
Yeah.
All right, well, Philthy man, thanks so much for joining us, and I appreciate you doing this. It was a great interview, man, and I just want to say thank you for being part of our community and contributing, and even when you make me so mad sometimes, it is so much better to have you in our community than to not.
It's a good time. Good time by all.
It is a good time. All right. Well, that's it with Philthy. I've got one more. Well, now you have to be middle. I didn't even mean for that, but I've got another guest, and then then we'll wrap this thing up.
It's a Phil sandwich.
One of the guests is my wife, so I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna participate in that one. All right. Thanks, Phil. Thanks for being here.
All right, man.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Okay, so my next guest, everybody who listens to this podcast, this guy is the sole source of comments. He is the commenter extraordinaire. Many times fan interaction becomes Kev interaction. I'm talking about Kev Too Tall. Kev, I would have to say you are our biggest fan. I hands down, as much as I'm sure there might be somebody out who's like, hey, no, I am. You watch every show. You contribute at least a comment to every show. So I just want to say thank you for being here, man.
Well, it's fun and enjoyable. So gotta let it be known.
Well, I appreciate it, and so does everybody else who works on the channel. And we want to take this time to talk to you and find out a little bit more about you, the man behind. And I just want to say again to everybody out there, Kev, if we could pay Kev and give him a job, we would immediately make him our community manager without even blinking an eye. But since we only ever lose money on this channel, we cannot do that. So Kev, I want to talk to you specifically about gaming because this is a gaming podcast. And I like to start with the beginning for everybody. So what was your first experience with gaming that you can remember?
The Atari 2600.
Ooh, taking it old school.
Well, you know, it's a long life.
Was it a positive? Yeah. Was it a positive experience, the Atari 2600?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because it was the system, and like the first 20 games were a gift from a family friend, so they were technically secondhand, even though this was actually mid to late 80s to begin with, when that stuff was technically new. But so that meant a lot of games didn't come with the instruction booklets.
Yeah,
and there were some Atari games. If you didn't have an instruction booklet, you were throwing darts in a dark room.
Well, all they could do was like squares and circles. If you didn't know what they meant, there was no subcontext.
One of them I think was like called Haunted House, and like there was things that showed up when your guy lit up his little match that they were certain shapes and they meant certain things, and without that book, there was no way to know what they meant.
I only remember Adventure being like that. Adventure was the one that like drove me nuts because you were just a square looking for a key, but that didn't look like a key, and you had to fight a dragon that didn't look like a dragon. It was like,
no, see, there was no dragon. This was just like two hallways with interconnects in the middle and a little rooms on the side sometimes, and you were just these two eyes that occasionally, when you got to light your torch, you turned into two eyes with like an orange glowy ring around you. And you had to find keys. You had to find keys, and I think I think there might have been some kind of weapon thing to like defend yourself against the monsters. But that was, oh yeah, it was terrible.
Well, that leads into my next question then. What is your best experience with gaming that you can remember?
Experience?
It can be a game, it can be an actual time, it can be anything. All these questions are open to interpretation.
I'll be honest, like I've always socially played games, but I think the biggest breakthrough for me probably actually came even after I had played like on a computer network with a bunch of computers, was, believe it or not, the original Halo and 4 Xboxes and God knows how many giant network cords and TVs lugged throughout a house so that our group of friends could have 16-player Halo with 4 people on each Xbox, but yet nobody could screen sheet because each TV was in another room.
Yeah, and I
And
remember the
we pulled
screen
that
cheating
off,
devices
and
too.
that was just amazing. I was already addicted to Diablo 2 by then, and we'd had Smash Brothers parties, and this was even after playing just original Halo at your guys' house,
Right.
and Nick punching through controllers.
Yeah, just so that everybody knows, me and Kevin kind of grew up together. I mean, we were kind of older when we met, like teenage. I mean, I think late teenage.
We were high school.
High school, but we've known each other for a very long time.
So
yes, and I remember those LAN parties. It's one thing that nowadays gamers just will never experience. It's like something we get that nobody else does.
Yeah, like they don't have to pack up their Xbox and bring it to their friend's house.
No, they
so
don't.
That you guys can sit 2 people next to each other and play Halo.
Right. You don't get the parties where like everybody's in a different room screaming at each other. Like,
yeah,
it's just that experience is lost. Like it existed in such a finite amount of time. It was nice that we got to be a part of it, actually.
Yeah, it was.
So that transitions into my next question. Who is your favorite person to play games with? Or people. However you want to answer the question.
Person or people favorite to play games with? Probably. Been a really long time. I'm gonna have to say. I'm gonna have to say. Oh.
Is it a stumper on you?
Yeah. Woo. Currently, I love the Halo nights we have.
Yes.
Because that comes really close to the not necessarily just because of the game, but like the high schoolish times of games. But if I miss playing with one specific person, I would have to go with Ben Falkenstein. That is because that man's ability to kill people with a gun in a game, probably second to none.
Yeah.
And just the randomly absurd without being vulgar things he would say would just blow your mind, because he would put things together that made no sense, but yet it sounded right when he freaking said it.
Yeah. He was really good. I remember that. I mean, him and my brother would have some epic duels back in the day.
Oh yeah.
It was like whoever got them on the team was like definitely going to win. Like,
well, yeah, we couldn't let them be on the same team.
Oh, they couldn't. It would just be over. It would
exactly.
just be over. I liked it when they were on separate teams too, because they just tried to find each other at that point. Like they just didn't even care about anything else. They just wanted to be the person who killed the other one, who was the best.
Exactly.
Well, let me go ahead and ask you a little bit more of a specific question to you. Now, you have been PC Ride or Die since before our channel even started. You definitely were a guy who pushed PC, and while I don't think Phil Billy got the idea to go PC from you, you were technically the first in our community to be like full-blown PC. Or at least our close community. So I gotta ask, why PC? What was it about PC? And don't get me wrong, I love my PC. I'll never go back either. But what was it about PC that made you jump to PC?
Games that were exclusive to the PC at the time. Diablo 2, StarCraft, all the real-time strategy games. Like I've played so much Command and Conquer and StarCraft and Diablo. Well, Diablo's not real-time strategy, but like I've played so much Diablo 2 and Command and Conquer and StarCraft and then eventually it bled. And for a while there was World of Warcraft. Yeah. I'm glad
It gets
I'm glad
everybody
I'm out of
eventually.
that.
I'm the
glad
only
I'm out of
person I
that.
know who's avoided it completely, I think.
I'll be honest, I dip my toes back in it once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's only for like a month, and because little nostalgia fun here and there. But
Yeah. I do remember you were very into it back in the day.
yeah,
So it was the games then. It was the games that pulled you in,
oh
not
yeah, it
necessarily all
was
the
totally
PC
the
stuff.
games. Now, mind you, I've kept with most consoles even through the time because that's where my friends were still playing. But
Right.
I have over time built friends that are PC friends, and you get to keep the PC friends the whole time because you build a new PC, same PC friends.
Right.
Don't have to. Oh, hey guys, are we getting the PS4 or the Xbox One this time? Oh, well, we're going PS4 because Xbox is saying they're doing all these things that we don't like, and like that. That divided the crew. We literally went from like a 10-man group to 4-man groups
Yeah. Yeah.
when those systems launched because of things that were supposed to gonna happen and yada yada yada, and it really sucked because I liked playing with my friends.
Yeah. 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 I totally get it. It was it really sucked when they divide, and it just goes to show that exclusivity is terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
What's one thing about gaming that you want to be changed, like overall?
Cross-platform needs to be a thing everywhere. I'm not saying that if now PC's a little different, so like I'm not a big fan of there being 30 different launchers for games, but I am on a PC. It doesn't matter what brand PC I have access to those games regardless of the launcher. Like with a PlayStation or an Xbox, you're restricted to PlayStation and Xbox games.
Right.
You can't get, that Epic Game Store exclusive game on your PlayStation necessarily.
Right.
I think they're working on things like that, but like I understand like consoles are supposed to help you sell the games.
Mm-hmm.
So make the better console and get all the games.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that.
Or actually just make the better console and the console will sell itself and everybody will just buy all the games.
Right. We could go down a rabbit hole on this, but I want to keep it focused on you.
Well, I think I can make a real short statement that you and I would agree on.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily have to be about the hardware. It needs to be about the experience of the console, the software, the ease of use,
Right.
and the things that it offers.
Right.
Like if Sony were to come out swinging and offer an amazing experience, people would buy more PlayStations.
I agree.
Then the developers would come, and the developers could just put their games on wherever they want them to be.
Right.
Because the developers want you to buy the games.
Right.
Well, we want you to buy the games on our consoles, so we're going to provide you with a better console. Don't worry about the games. Provide the better experience.
Right. Exactly. You're right. I can 100% agree with that. I think that the console wars, if you could even call it that, should be about the services you provide, not necessarily the games that are walled off by your system.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's go ahead and move on to something a little bit more egotistical and self-centered. I've asked everybody else this, so just permit me a little leeway. What's your favorite OMG show? And also
Favorite OMG show?
Yeah.
Prelude to Divorce. Favorite non-OMG show? OMGW.
Oh, that's an OMG show.
Well, but see, it's
on my network.
It's you use a game to make it, but it's not based on a game.
I see what you're saying.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That
is very to me.
It's
OMGW
machinima.
is very machinima.
Yeah, Yeah, it's my machinima. I've said that before. Yeah.
It blends into the channel very well.
Yeah.
Also, not directly game related.
No, I mean, I do it with a game, but you're right. It's not, there's nothing about it, the content itself, other than its medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I appreciate that. What's your favorite, what's your best OMG experience since you've been part of our community?
The first Halo night.
Okay. All right.
I think that one just was magical because it went off technically without a hitch, really, other than my stupidity on downloading. And other than that, yeah, it worked and we did everything. And yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I agree. I really like that first Halo night. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, so I want to get a little bit more fun now for you. There's a developer out there. It's making a game, and that game is just for you as a player. What's that game look like?
It's...
I can hear the possibilities going on in your head right now.
Oh, no. It's something that I've had in my mind for a very, very, very long time.
All right.
And I don't even know who the developer would be, but I want Torchlight 2 quality of graphics on a side-scrolling Metroid game.
Holy crap.
I want glorious, luscious details. I don't need 3D models. I want beautiful artwork on a Super Metroid engine. You can even add some other features, but just super simplistic on the execution so that it is beautiful as you just engorge on a freaking 12-hour-long game.
You've made Neil very happy somewhere. I can tell you right there. I can tell you right there. Okay, so the next thing I want to ask you is a little bit more serious. So I want to ask you a time that gaming has like positively impacted you. So like maybe gaming helped you get through something, maybe gaming helped you connect with somebody you normally wouldn't connect with, maybe gaming just helped you meditate in certain situations. Just when is gaming has been or is a positive impact on you? Tough one.
No, it was
you keep taking a really long time to think about things, and then when I say tough one, you say no. I just want to point that out.
It's about 2004.
Okay.
And there was just some rough patches in life, and my friends rallied and brought consoles and games, and there wasn't a weekend for like a year straight that my apartment... Well, actually, there almost wasn't a day for a year straight that my apartment didn't have somebody stay in the night because they were over to play games or hang out or whatever. Because I'd gone through something super stressful and nobody wanted me to be sad about it.
That's awesome. So that your personal gaming community came together for you, kind of.
Yeah.
That's a really special moment, special time, honestly. All right. So I like to end on this fun one. What's your always play and never play? Meaning I'll always play this X game and I'll never play X game.
Well, that's actually kind of simple. I already mentioned it earlier. I will always play Super Metroid. And I will never play Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, I could hug you right now. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to throw shade. It's the most overrated game in the history of gaming, in my opinion. Just saying.
I've never played it. I grew tired of hearing about it via people like Hoffman. Love Hoffman. But you account for two things in life that you vehemently turned me off to. Ollie didn't help either on that aspect for Final Fantasy VII. But
It's
actually,
so
you get three things. You get Trunks, you get the Matrix, and you get half fault for Final Fantasy VII.
I turned you off to those things, or Hoffman?
No, Hoffman.
Hoffman, yeah.
Hoffman turned me off to Trunks.
Oh
He
man.
turned me off to because when the Matrix came out, he was like the first of all of us to see it.
Oh.
And he just wanted everything to always be like in the Matrix.
I remember the Matrix stuff. I just for everybody, Hoffman is another guy we grew up with. He's a friend of the channel, and he might very well listen to this. So Hoffman, all due respect to you, buddy, but man, you had a hard on for the Matrix. It was ridiculous.
But we were teenagers. We were like 17 to 18 years old, and like it was like I'll be honest, if I'd have watched it then, I'd have probably thought it was really that cool. I literally, because of how much I heard about it, I literally didn't watch The Matrix until like 2002.
I remember I went to see it opening, and I loved it. I was in love with it, and then Hoffman came around, and like just so that everybody knows the scope of Hoffman's obsession with The Matrix is, I didn't watch that movie again until like my wife told me she had never watched it. So like that's how long, like 35,
Wow.
like I mean like 10 years. Like I was like, no,
you're even
never.
longer than me. Damn.
I've heard enough of it. I've seen enough of it. My buddy Mike has been too into this. I'm done with The Matrix. I remember that. He's crazy. He's crazy about that.
He was. But
all right. Well,
so
Kev, man, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you helping out. And I do want to just say I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the love and support you've showed us. And, there are days where we get low views, and there are days where I get kicked in the balls repeatedly by people who are not even members of our community. And I think about, man, I don't know if I can do this again today. And then I see a Kev comment, and I'm like, okay, all right, I can do one more video. And I really appreciate that from the bottom of my soul, man.
Well, hey, that's what we're for.
Is there anything you want to say to the people? Any comments you want to make? Anything you might want to plug? Anything you want to throw out there into the ether before I end the interview?
I'm gonna plug the comments section. Guys, can I get some more comments from other people? It's getting lonely out here. We don't have to cuddle. We don't have to spoon. But at least occasionally say hello, please.
I think I might
wave.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I might name this episode "We Don't Have to Cuddle."
There you go.
I think you just gave it to me, man. Kev Too Tall, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for all the comments and support, man.
You're welcome, Zach.
This guy is the original Old Man fam member right here.
I am the content.
All right, Kev. Thank you very much. And I don't know what order you're going to go in, so I will either be back with another interview or I will be back to end the show.
That's fine.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
And that is it, the end of our show. And now for the shameless self-promotion that comes with it. But first, before I get into that, I do just want to say thank you one more time to my three guests today. Melissa Van Sluyters, Philthy Phil, I can't remember his last name, and Kev Too Tall. And these guys and gal have been instrumental in this channel and just keeping it around, and they've really helped us over the years. And this is a thank you to you guys for just really believing in us as a channel and just being around for us. We really appreciate it. As far as plugs goes, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I always promote it. Please watch OMGW Wrestling. Please, please, please. I put a ton of work into it, and I love it. Also, I want to just go ahead and plug one more time Outriders 330. If you're watching or listening to this, it already premiered last Friday. The first episode's up. First episode has a small amount of technical issues, which I have no idea why. Just the video did not capture properly for about 5 to 10 minutes. But everything else is fine, so just bear with us on that one. But still, it was a lot of fun. Philbilly's on top. It's nice to play with Philbilly in a game that doesn't make us want to hurt ourselves. So that was really enjoyable. Other than that, you can, of course, talk to us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on Twitter at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord. Link is in the description below. You can influence this and all of the shows from there. Please like, please subscribe. And as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making this. And we'll see you next week, one way or the other.